Hi guys, so I picked Doctopus and Goobric. First I want to apologize for any noise in the background. I have other people in the house with me right now, and a dog is sitting in the kitchen chair next to me, so if you hear any like sniffing noises, that's her. So Doctopus is a tool that helps you distribute projects or assignments to students. So it's an add-on actually. So you would open up a spreadsheet. Only works with the Google Suite. So you go ahead, get an add-on, and then this kind of like store thing will pop up, and then you just download it. It's free. And then you go ahead from the add-ons, you go to Doctopus, and then the only thing will be set up. So you just do setup, and then it will walk you through all of these steps in this panel over here. So it's really easy. The only things I actually had to type in were the students' names, first and last, and their email addresses. Doctopus creates this like header thing up here, and then it creates everything else. You have the option to exclude anybody. If somebody moved or is no longer in your class, you can just go ahead and exclude them, and then they won't get any emails. So for this example, I went ahead and made a project that I've done in another class. I just made it into a project. So it all from this, whatever you want to call this, docket, all from right here, I was able to attach the I did a slide presentation thing. So I attached the slide and emailed all of my students. You can have up to 40 students in your classroom at any time. So I emailed them all the document. So I'm going to go ahead and it links it. So you can see this is the document. This is Jackie's version. So it will load one day. So here's Jackie's version. So everyone got the same thing, except for Jackie's is called Greer Jackie Gear. I don't know how you say your name. Gear Jackie and then disease pamphlet. You have the option to decide how you want students to name their work, and I decided to go with a last name, first name, and then the name of the project or work or whatever. You have the option to do that here when you're setting it all up. Again, it's really easy. It holds your hand through the entire thing, so it's super easy. You also have the option to choose one whole class document, so everyone's working on the same document. You have the option to do group projects where, so I could do Jackie and Matt in one group and then Becca and, I don't know, somebody else in another group. So they would get different papers, or they would get different links, but theirs would be connected together. So they would just be working on one document. You can do individuals, which is what I did for this one, so everyone got the same thing. And then you can do individual differentiated, where I could have several different copies of work that's differentiated, and I could choose who to send which one to. So I just went with the regular same work for everybody, just because it was a little easier and I didn't have to create a bunch of different documents for this one project. So, like I said, you can go ahead and look at what students are doing at any time. It also, which I really liked, shows you when they last edited. You can see when they last worked on it, so you can't prevent students from saying, "Oh, I worked on it last night." No, you haven't worked on it since Monday in class, because I can see when you worked on it last. So that's the good part. I really like this so far. The thing I dislike about it so far is it takes a very long time to load everything. This is the third time I'm recording it, and it took over 15 minutes to get here last time, so I had to re-record this. So you can support different learners by using the differentiated option. If that's what you choose, you can also do groups, and you can choose what the groups are. So you can choose if you want similar groups or mixed groups, and there's a lot of options to give feedback throughout. I can always go here and then add a comment to, I see Jackie's working, I can go ahead and insert a comment wherever they are and say, great on the symptoms, work on prevention next, and make sure terminology is correct. And what are you doing? Come here. Sorry, doggy is being very needy. So I really like that. It gives the students the option to learn while they're still working on it, which is something that I've learned recently as good feedback occurs while students are still working and still learning. So now to the Goobric part. So Goobric, ideally, would be really cool. You could upload a Goobric where you click on upload. Oh, well, usually it says upload Goobric. Right now it says change because I have one in there right now. But you upload a sheet that is your rubric. So you open an Excel sheet and put in your rubric there. But it's very, very picky about what you have in there, and I could not get it to work with the rubric I already have made. So I went ahead and used the copy that they provided. So in this, let's see if it's loaded yet. No, it's still loading. It's been loading for at least 15 minutes. Closer to 20, I think. So up here, you would have the different sections of your rubric. So we can see on here the different sections they have are written, critical analysis, evidence, structure, style. They automatically put these in based on what your rubric says. Mechanics, and then comments, I assume. So ideally, it would be popping up here, and Jackie's project would be down here, and I would look at it and pick which section. So for mechanics, I can be like, all right, Jackie's got a 3 on mechanics, but style, she's got a 1. So I can leave her a comment over here in this box that says, that tells her my feedback. You also have the option of recording a comment, doing an audio comment. So if you have a student that does better with verbal rather than written things, that is a really good tool to use with them. So then you submit the other cool thing about this is that I've seen in videos, I haven't actually seen it here, is that you're supposed to be able to just click over. So I have them alphabetically, so it's Jackie, Matt, Becca. So I'd grade Jackie's, then I could click over to Matt's, and then I can click over to Becca's. And when I'm finished grading them, all of the things will show up here automatically, so I don't have to transfer them over. And they'll also show up here at their rubric scores, so I can see all of them very concisely. And I can also, the other cool thing about this is that you can go back, so I can go back to Jackie's, if she did improve on the style or whatever, I can go back and regrade it, and then the new grade will show up here on this rubric score thing. You can also, from this, the Doctopus docket, or whatever you want to call this, you can embargo docs for grading. So if you say you need to have this turned in by midnight tonight, you can go on and at midnight or 12:01 a.m., you can go ahead and click embargo docs, so students will no longer be able to edit them, and whatever they have on their document is what you're going to grade. You can send feedback from here, and then at the end, when you're all finished, you can go ahead and transfer ownership to your students. So it does make all of these, and here in PopSci Students, I can see all of my students' work. So I could go ahead and look at Becca's from here. But essentially this all would get cleared out and transferred back over to the students to clear up your Google Drive space. What else? So your final grade would be here. Yeah, I think these two products, if they work the way that they were supposed to or intended to work, would be really, really cool and really good. is used, you can give you can give feedback and support as students are working by hopping around from their different documents using these links. I love these links. I probably will use Doctopus, definitely won't use Goobric until they fix it. Like I said, this has been almost 30 minutes of this, so it's not working the way it's intended to. If you have the opportunity, I would say go ahead and watch some videos on how these two things work together, because it works very well, when it worked. And there's also a rubric for students where the students would be able to see the feedback that you left for them. But if the regular rubric's not working, I don't have high hopes for the rubric for students to be working right now. So it just makes it student-centered, because, if they're doing project-based learning, they're doing the learning, not you. You're not doing the learning for them. And, you can just support them with a lot of feedback, written feedback and audio feedback if you have students that work better that way. So I think this is interesting, and I wish they would fix it so that I could use both of them together. But, alas. All right. Thank you.